I wanted to talk about. Sorry, there's a little bit something like a dust on my camera. I wanted to talk about acceptance, understanding, and letting things go. So, to give some context, I had like a disagreement. It wasn't even a fight, but a disagreement with my dad yesterday, and it's kind of like usual. It was I don't know if you've ever had these moments, but yeah, whoever, if you have somebody close to you, a family, friend, a loved one, right? And then even though you love them, right? Yeah, right. There's like a lot of past baggage, right? A lot of past habits, sometimes even trauma, right? You don't mean to hurt them, but you hurt them, and they hurt you. It kind of becomes like a habit, right? An emotional habit. So I was having one of those disagreements with my dad yesterday. Kind of like getting really all riled up, getting really angry, like really angry. I usually don't get angry at all, right? I never ever get angry except with I only get angry with my dad, pretty much. Yeah, it's like a habit, emotional habit. Um, but yesterday, for the first time, I already knew that I had that habit, right? Every time I had a disagreement with my dad, I would get so pissed off, right? So angry, right? And I would get angry that I was angry, right? I was so angry that I got angry because I never get angry. But yesterday, for the first time, I just accepted it, right? Not just accepted it, but I felt it, right? I truly felt it. I didn't deny it. I didn't condescend it, right? I appreciated it, right? I acknowledged my anger, right? And when I truly felt it in my body, when I felt that anger in my body, it disappeared. It truly disappeared, right? I felt that anger, but I wasn't controlled by it anymore, right? I wasn't possessed by that anger anymore. It felt so freeing. It felt so freeing, right? After, having years, right? Years and years and years of developing like this emotional habit towards, whenever I disagreed with my dad, right? It was years and years. For the first time ever, just acknowledging it, right? Accepting it, understanding it, right? Feeling it in my body, right? Truly feeling it. When I felt it, it disappeared, right? Just that, the, right? That grindy, right? That tension disappeared. I was truly present, right? In the moment, right? I felt that anger, but I was present, right? I was there for it. I honored it. And it felt so freeing. It felt so freeing. Just acknowledging it, right? Just understanding it. I couldn't help but laugh. I freaking I just laughed and laughed and laughed, right? Because of how I understood like how silly it was, right? How silly it was for me to like just hold on to this anger for so long, right? How silly it was. I just laughed and yeah, it really felt like a weight, just all that past baggage, just like uh, it wasn't there. It was just me. It was me carrying it, right? It didn't happen, but I realized, it didn't happen like overnight. It was just um, sort of like self therapy, right? It I first had to understand where that anger was coming from, right? All the past, right? All the past disagreements we had, right? It was all from the past. Um, but I already recognized that a long time ago, right? I already understood that a long time ago, but it's only now, yesterday, that I was able to truly like acknowledge it, right? That I was truly able to accept it. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if you have any moments where you have like an emotional reaction, right? A past baggage, right? Some sort of past trauma um, or emotional habit that you might have. Um, I hope that my story helps somebody out, right? Even just one person out in any way. It truly felt strange. It was, I would call it the difference between understanding and agreeing, right? I finally understood what was happening. You know, it doesn't mean that of course, I don't like being angry. I don't like being upset. I don't like being sad. Um, I don't like it, but I can understand it. Right? I can understand why I feel the way I feel. I can understand. I can feel it in my body, right? Once I connect that emotion, right? That, for example, the anger, right? But once I connect that anger with my physiology, right? My body, like how it actually physically feels, right? I would feel the anger, right? I would feel it. My head would get like all, like really tense. My throat would get tense, and I would feel like this really just um, kind of almost like ripple in uh, my chest, right? Just like that, kind of like that feeling. But once I felt it, once I connected my body to my emotion, then I truly understood what it was, right? I understood what that anger truly was, how it actually felt, right? Physiologically. And that's really what helped me ground it, right? That's really what helped me ground my anger physically, right? How it felt in my body. So yeah, that was the lesson I learned yesterday.